Hello everybody, internal jugular vein. We are going to study this vein under these following topics. So let's get started. The drainage areas of the internal jugular vein are skull, brain, superficial part of the face and the neck. It originates as a continuation of the sigmoid sinus, which is located in the posterior compartment of the jugular foramen. The origin has a dilatation termed as superior bulb, which is located in the floor of the tympanic cavity, while its termination has another dilatation termed inferior bulb, which is guarded by valves. After its origin, it descends in the lateral part of the neck within the carotid triangle, enclosed by the carotid sheath. Once it reaches the posterior part of the sternal end of the clavicle, it terminates by joining the subclavian vein, whose combination forms the brachiocephalic vein. During its course, it is related to 10 structures in the anterolateral part. Anteriorly, it is overlapped by the sternocleidomastoid muscle. Beneath it, from below above, it is related to the anterior jugular vein, superior belly of omohyoid muscle, the sternomastoid branches of the superior thyroid and the occipital arteries, the ansa cervicalis nerve, the posterior belly of digastric muscle, posterior auricular artery, the accessory nerve, parotid gland and the styloid process of the temporal bone. Posteriorly, it is mostly related to the muscles. From above downwards, it is related to the rectus capitis lateralis, transverse process of the atlas bone, the levator scapulae muscle, scalenus medius and scalenus anterior muscles, and below that the first part of the subclavian artery with its thyrocervical trunk is also related. The thoracic duct and the right lymphatic duct are related to its termination. Within the carotid sheath, its medial relation will be with the common carotid artery and the internal carotid artery from below above. The vagus nerve is present in the posterior part between the artery and the vein. Tributaries. Inferior petrosal sinus will be its first tributary from the cranial cavity. The other tributaries are facial vein, lingual vein, pharyngeal vein, which drains the corresponding areas. The thyroid gland drains its blood through the superior and the middle thyroid vein into the internal jugular vein. The internal jugular vein communicates with the cavernous sinus through the inferior petrosal sinus to drain its blood, while it also communicates with the superficially placed external jugular vein through the oblique vein. The lymphatic duct relations we have already seen. Generally, we talk about pulsations with respect to arteries, but this internal jugular vein is one vein whose pulsations are visible, and it corresponds to the ECG recording showing the heart activity and the right atrial pressure. Generally, its pulsations are visible in the Trendelenburg's position. Any increase in the jugular venous pulse or pressure is indication for so many diseases including mitral stenosis, right heart failure, superior vena cava obstruction, increased intrathoracic pressure, cardiac tamponade, etc. The wall of the vessel is adherent to the carotid sheath. Hence, any penetrating wound causing its laceration may cause air embolism, which states an emergency situation. Internal jugular vein catheterization can be done in two ways. In posterior approach, the vessel is cannulated 2 finger breadths above the clavicle in the posterior border of the sternocleidomastoid, while the anterior approach is in the triangular area between the clavicular and the sternal head of the sternocleidomastoid muscle. This procedure is done for diagnostic and therapeutic purposes. Thank you all.